That snaps for losers, man. I don't get involved in that stuff, but
Angel Rashad Milligan rolling out.
That's a good question.
Brandon, you want one quick question?
We can't ask Rashad questions.
All right. Next thing. And new music just came out, so I'm about to be checking out some new music once I get off stream, editing everything. Trump abruptly fires the Librarian of Congress, Carla Hayden. Trump has abruptly fired Librarian of Congress, Carla Hayden, as the White House continues to purge of the federal government of those perceived to oppose the president. Oh, interesting. President Donald Trump abruptly fired the Librarian of Congress, Carla Hayden, on Thursday as the White House continues to purge the federal government of those perceived to oppose. Perceived. It's not even confirmed. It's just those perceived. It's like, you look like you don't support me. If you don't really support me, if you don't like me, get out of here. Perceived to oppose the president and its agenda. The dismissal was disclosed in statements from 3 top House Democrats and confirmed by a separate person familiar with the matter who spoke on the condition of anonymity, anonymity before it became public. Connecticut Representative Rosa DeLario, the top Democrat on the House Appropriations Committee, said Hayden was callously fired by Trump and demanded an explanation from the administration as to why. Dr. Hayden's tenure has been marked by a steadfast commitment to accessibility, modernization, and democratization of knowledge. Democratization of knowledge. There we go. Delario said in a statement, her dismissal is not just an affront to her historic service, but a direct attack on the independence of one of our most revered institutions. Yeah. This is crazy. This is crazy, man. This is crazy, dude. Let me see if I can see anything else about Carla Hayden. This is pretty crazy. Did she say, like, has she said anything? Has she, like, tweeted out against Trump a lot? It was an honor to participate in the media summit hosted. All right, pretty down the middle, just saying what she's doing. Pretty down the middle, just saying what she's doing. Earth Day, happy Earth Day, very non-problematic. Shout out to the Pope. Rest in peace to Pope Francis. Shout out to the new Pope from Chicago. Happy Easter. Pretty unproblematic. Just regular history stuff. Young boy picking out this. She ain't even doing, you know what I'm saying? It ain't even nothing looks too crazy, bro, to me. Happy Library Workers Day. Happy Library Week. Let me see.
Vehicle for opening up the world for me. They've changed my life in many ways, all through my life, because they've allowed me the opportunity to learn about other places and people, but also to learn about myself. Libraries are the great equalizer. And when you have a free public library in particular, you are providing an opportunity center for people of all walks of life. And you are giving them the opportunity to make choices on which information, entertainment, and inspiration means the most to them. And
I guess we just look at this, the context of this, of what has happened in the past couple of months, the first couple of months of this current administration. All right. So DEI has been discouraged and taken away from a lot of major corporations. And the museum, the African American Museum, they're trying to remove all kind of mentions and teachings of slavery. And in the classrooms, they are trying to get rid of the lessons of critical race theory, and they're trying to take that out of the curriculum, the woke curriculum per se. And now we have the head of libraries here, as you see her face, being abruptly fired. I just went on social media. She doesn't tweet anything that's crazy. if anything, it's all down the middle, just saying what she does in her job and why libraries are important to her. But she has been fired, with people coming with the conclusion that Trump has been firing a lot of people within the federal government who just are perceived to oppose his opinions and his monarchy, or however you want to say it, in Washington, D.C. This was written by Sung Min Kim and Zeke Miller. So shout out to those two reporters from the Associated Press. Presented with no comment, man. Just like what I said, that's kind of what has happened the first couple months of this current Trump administration. So just something to keep an eye out on, just the latest thing of what's going on. Let me see if I can find anything else on this lady before we before we finish. All right, this is from USA Today. Via email, Trump fires head of the world's largest library, the Library of Congress. President Trump fired the Librarian of Congress, Carla Hayden, via email, a move that immediately drew sharp condemnation from her supporters. President Trump's ignorant action will impact America's libraries, our copyrighted economic interests, and service to the American people by threatening support for Congress. Representative Joe Morale, a New York Democrat, posted on social media shortly after Hayden's firing became public late May 8th. His decisions are a complete disgrace. Added Massachusetts Senator Ed Markey, a Democrat, Donald Trump just fired my friend, Dr. Carla Hayden, the Librarian of Congress, via email. This is disgraceful. The Library of Congress represents some of the best that America has to offer, equal access of learning for all. Hayden, so it's a common theme here. It's a common theme here. I'll go back to the last thing. We'll go back to the last quote, right? Last sentence of this, last couple sentences. This is disgraceful. The Library of Congress represents some of the best America has to offer, equal access to learning for all. First couple months of this administration, what is Trump and the administration have trying to do? They're trying to take out the woke curriculum. Rashad, he never said that. You're making that up. Okay, let's see for ourselves. Let's see what for ourselves. In radical indoctrination in K through 12 schooling. There it is right there. January 29, 2025. Once again, March 20th, 2025. Donald J. Trump signed an executive order to officially begin the process of closing the Department of Education. April 2029, November 2024. He wants to end wokeness in education. He has a vision for education that revolves around a single goal: get rid of America's perceived wokeness, quote unquote. Trump wants to end wokeness in education. He's vowed to use federal money as leverage. So he wants to get wokeness out of learning. He wants to end equal access to learning for all. He wants to take out any mentions of slavery out of the museums. This is what is going on right now with this current administration. Hayden was nominated to her position by then President Barack Obama in 2016 and confirmed by the Senate a year later. She was the first woman and first Black American to lead the nation's official library, which, as the world's largest library, records and preserves millions of books, films, photos, and manuscripts. It is also the home to the U.S. Copyright Office. Hayden appeared before a congressional committee earlier in the week, facing questions from the library modernization project, whose cost has ballooned while completion deadlines have been repeatedly delayed. Hayden is a professional librarian who first met Obama when she worked at the Chicago Public Library. She has been leading the Of the People initiative to bring more works from Black, Indigenous, Hispanic, or Latino, Asian American, and Pacific Islander and other communities of color into the library's collection. Trump has repeatedly targeted programs and people who he considers improperly advanced in diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts. The White House did not immediately offer a statement or comment on Hayden's firing. Critics of Trump's decision lambasted both the firing and the way that it was carried out via an email to Hayden at 6:56 p.m. Eastern Time. Our President Trump wants to ban books and tell Americans what to read or not to read at all. Dr. Hayden was devoted her career to making reading and the pursuit of knowledge available to everyone. New Mexico Senator Martin Heinrich, a Democrat, said in a statement. So there it is. The only thing, I ain't gonna lie, I'm glad that, shout out to who wrote this? I gotta shout him out because I'm glad that he included this. I felt like it was a fair story. Trevor Hughes. He did mention that earlier this week, she met before committee, the congressional committee this week, and they were asking about this library modernization project and why is it taking so long and why do the costs keep going up for it. I'm glad he mentioned that because that might just be the reason that why she got rid of it. But everybody else is like, we ain't get a reason. We don't know what's going on. But I do know it lines up with everything else he's been doing. In terms of ending DEI, ending diversity, and ending woke, quote unquote, curriculum, which is pretty much just letting Black people or Americans, period, learn about the real history of what happened to Black Americans leading up to this point of 2025. So there's that. Regardless, like I said, I mentioned in the other video about whether Black people are the original Native Americans and they were already here and they weren't even part of the slave trade. They were just here as Black people already because we all come from Africa. You know how Pangea works, broke us all up, things of that sort. But yeah, I think this is what Trump is trying to do, or at least his actions say that. This is not me just making up something. This is what his actions have said over the past few months, dating back to November of last year. So with that being said, W stream. As always, I'm Rashad Milligan, man. Take care of yourselves. I see you all tomorrow. And if no one told you today, I care for you.
That's for losers, man. I don't get involved in that stuff, but
Angel Rashad Milligan rolling out.
Brandon,
We
one quick
can't
question.
ask Rashad a question.
Hey, Rashad.